Hello everyone, this is CEO and founder of 850 Club Credit Consultation, Calvin Russell. Thank you guys so much for watching another video on my channel. It's actually a hot day in Chicago finally, so I'm about to get ready with the family and I'll go out somewhere, so enjoy myself. So either way, today I want to talk to you guys about something I just had thought about recently. Usually when I have a good video idea, I try to put it in my phone in a note-taking app that I have. That way I can always kind of reference back to it. But this is always a common thing that I always see or saw when I used to work at the dealership. But even today I get a couple questions about it, and it's how do you get off an auto loan that you co-signed on, okay? And of course, I don't have to talk about reasons why you would want to. In most cases, well, I won't say in most cases because everyone's situation is going to be different. But in some cases that I've seen, a lot of people may be co-signed on a loan and they no longer want to be on it because the person may be late, or they've been late in the past, or it's an old relationship, or some bad things happen, or in some cases, you being co-signed on that loan may keep you yourself from getting another car, and that plays a role too. So we're going to go over 3 ways that you can get off of an auto loan that you co-signed on. Number one, the easiest way is to trade the car in, okay? If you trade the car in, of course, that person has to want to trade in the car as well, and you guys got to decide who's going to get the next car. Some people don't care because you co-sign on the loan anyway, so of course, they can get their own vehicle or whatever. There is a form that you have to sign. It's a release of it's a release form, and it is pretty much a power of attorney form. Depends on what state you guys are in. In Illinois, we just call just a power of attorney release form, and what that does is you pretty much release your liability for that vehicle, and you're pretty much giving the okay to trade that car in. Now, some dealerships, they give that form to the person, and that form doesn't necessarily make it to the other party. But again, that's usually if it's like a marriage type of situation or whatever, or if it's like a father-daughter type, or it's like a parent to child type of situation. Then normally, they would want to follow up and actually make sure that the signature, actually gets done, or that the other party is actually there, okay? But some dealerships say, hey, I'm just going to give this to you, and then of course they go outside or go down the street or go home, they sign it, and you don't know who signed it, and of course they come back with it. So just so you know, but that's really all you have to do is just sign that form, and they can trade the car in, and they can get the next car by themselves. That's the number one way, is to trade the car in. Well, the easiest way. The number 2, they can refinance the vehicle, okay? And technically this is 2 and 3 because it depends on how they refinance it. You can go through a lot of the major banks out there that do a refinance loan, and so a lot of banks do refinance. And you can go through your credit union, which is kind of leads me into number 3. If you go with a credit union, I'll just talk about it now. If you go in with a credit union, of course, you just walk in, and of course, assuming that you're a member, you tell them that you want to buy the actual car, and or you want that person wants to buy the car, and they themselves have to qualify. Okay, so in short, hope that wasn't confusing. You don't have to go to the currency to the currency exchange. You don't have to go to to the credit union. They themselves can go to a credit union, or any bank for that matter. It doesn't have to be a credit union. They themselves would have to get approved from their bank or a bank, and then the bank will cut them the check. Of course, they'll make sure that the car is real, VIN number, insurance, all that type of stuff, and they'll give them a check to give to not you, but to give to the finance company to pay the vehicle off. Okay, now in that case, I'm sure you will still have to sign, again, another power of attorney release form, because again, that person can't do anything. In you yourself, you can't do anything with that vehicle either, because you only have 50% ownership. Okay, because I've seen people, they try to take the car away from the other person, and that's an illegal repossession, because of course that person still has half ownership. Now there are some cases where, of course, if they're not if you co-sign for someone and it's really their car and they're missing payments, and in a case like that, you still can't legally just repossess it. You still have to take that type of situation to court, okay? Because they own as much of the car as you do. But the easiest way is to just convince them or try to walk them through the trade-in payment process. But refinancing, which is the second way, and kind of like way number 3, depending on how you do the financing, a person can refinance through an online bank. They can go to, Wells Fargo, State Farm, Capital One, carfinance.com, all these places that they can refinance with. Or they can go with traditional banking. And we just walk into a bank and say, hey, listen, I want to purchase this vehicle. I'm co-signed on it. I want to have it completely in my name. They walk in, of course, and this could be you too, because someone may be co-signing for you, and you may want to have the car all to yourself and get them off of the loan. It could be that case too. And they go in, you go into the bank, and of course you just apply for financing. The bank gives you the check, but they won't make it out to you. In some cases, actually in some states, they won't even give you the check. They'll just send the check to the lien holder, because why should they give you the check when no one has the title? Okay, you can't they can't sell a car. I know how it is in the state of Illinois. You can't sell a car without the title. Okay, and in most states that's the case. So they probably won't even give you the check. They're going to give the check to the lien holder. And then, of course, the lien holder will then, that'll pay off the car. So you have to get what you call a 10-day payoff, okay? So let's just break down how to refinance it, okay? So step 1, you have to actually call the person that actually owns the loan right now. That's the lien holder. That's the bank that you guys are paying, or that someone is paying each month, to keep the car, okay? The car note, okay? Who are you paying for that? So you're going to call them, and you're going to ask them for a 10-day payoff, okay? A 10-day payoff is the amount of money that's that's going to be owed and due if you wanted to pay off the car. And of course, the interest is going to be already calculated 10 days away from the day that you call. Okay. Now, why is that important? Well, most auto loans are, the easiest way to say it, there's a per diem, and that's a daily interest that's attached to that loan. So even if you wanted to, let's say, if you called a bank today and you gave them a check today, or you sent the check today, the check won't come until about 2 to 3 days, unless, even if you next date it, it's going to be about what do you call that? What am I thinking about? So even if you called them, it's going to be some interest off. So it's going to be some money off, okay? And everybody's per diem is different, okay? So either way, I say all of that to say you want to get at least a 10-day payoff. That way you know what the worst case scenario is within 10 days. Now let's say if you send a check, they get the check, of course, they cash the check, and of course it's a smaller amount higher because you called it for a 10-day payoff. They'll send you a check back. It's easier for you to do it that way, for you to call them and get a 10-day payoff, and then of course they owe you money, than the other way around, and now you're going to hold up the whole title process. Hope that made sense. I'm going to try to edit out what I just messed up on, so if I remember to do that. So but either way, that's that process there. Then once they do that, of course, they're going to get the title. They're going to send it to the new lien holder, which is going to be the new bank that the person is now refinanced with. Okay, and now they've pretty much just taken over the loan. That's one of the ways to do it. But again, the easiest way is to, you guys should talk about, trading the car in. But again, the person has to be who's going to keep the car, and or getting the next car, even with the refinancing. You still got to qualify, okay? So the person that's trying to keep everything to themselves, keep the original car or trade the car in, you still got to qualify for an auto loan yourself, okay? And in that case, and I don't know, of course, you guys will know, of course, that their score is not where it should be or whatever, but they still have to qualify. Now, let's say, for example, they try to trade the car in, they try to refinance, and they don't qualify. You're back to square one, okay? So, and there's also another way out of it too, and that's let's say if you qualify, you get your bank to give you a check, and of course, they buy out the remaining balance of the loan. You keep the car, you sell the car, let's say to CarMax or something like that. That's another way to do it too, okay? I think that was the original number 3. Can't remember now. But now you can take the car to CarMax, or a lot of people will purchase the vehicle without you having the title to the vehicle. They'll just pay off the lien holder, okay? So in some cases you can do some things like that. You can also do Craigslist depending on the balance. If you got like a $10,000 balance and you're comfortable with meeting people, that has $10,000 cash or something like, or they got a check or whatever. I mean, you want to do things in a closed space as much as possible, where it's already a financial institution, like a dealership where you're trading a car in, or CarMax, or or a bank or something like that. That's going to be like the top ways to do it. Okay, so hopefully you guys got that. Of course, if you like this video, like it. If you want to share it, if you know someone that's going through a similar situation or has that question themselves, then of course share it with them. And also subscribe if you want to look for more videos, such as this one. Hopefully that was helpful. Okay, and of course I'm going to always have new material coming as I think about it. But again, those are about the best ways I would say to get out of that type of situation. Now, I've also seen people do like some crazy illegal stuff, set the car on fire, push a car off the bridge, all that type of stuff. Listen, you do whatever you want to do, but just do know this, is that a lot of these insurance companies don't play those games, and they'll open up an investigation. It's just not worth it. Just do things the right way. I'm telling you, you have less to worry about. So thank you guys so much. Have a great day.